Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint by Sing Shong. Chapter 11. Contract. Part 1. My body suddenly became heavy as I felt water entering my lungs. Then I was sucked in somewhere. I wasn't torn apart because I fell with perfect timing. However, I couldn't lose consciousness here. I had to stay awake. I needed to wait for a while. I somehow managed to curl up and hold my breath. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I was barely breathing when my hands hit a tangible wall in the darkness. Yuuek. I could barely breathe after coughing up the river water several times. My level 10 stamina saved me from being killed by hitting the water surface, but the large and small bruises all over my body were very painful. I controlled my breathing in order to not fall into a panic and turned on my smartphone. I was worried it might have broken in the fall, but the power was fortunately okay. It was good that I spent big and bought a smartphone with a waterproof function. Pahet. The flashlight turned on and the surrounding scenery entered my eyes. There were huge walls with concrete byproducts floating by. The stomach of an ichthyosaur was more disgusting than I thought. Damn it. Yu Jonghyuk's expression as he let go of his hand without hesitation and got off the bridge was vivid. I expected it, but it was more shocking than I thought. If I wanted to be his companion, I had to survive. It wasn't that I didn't understand. Companion. The weight of this word was too great for Yu Jonghyuk. Since his failure in the first round of regression, Yu Jonghyuk had never made a real companion. It was rare for humans to easily follow the growth of a regressor. As a result, he solved everything alone, was revered as a savior, and was naturally lonely. To Yu Jonghyuk, humans were only subordinates or enemies. Thus, this was a test. If I wanted to be in an equal position with him, I had to solve this much alone. Well, this was when looking at it from Yu Jonghyuk's viewpoint. A companion like you, crazy psychopath. I barely doggy paddled to a floating styrofoam panel and raised my body onto it. Thanks to the warmth of the stomach, I wasn't cold. However, the problem was from now on. I closed my eyes and played the message log that I heard. You have failed to clear the scenario. Paid settlement will begin. 100 coins have been reduced for the channel usage fee. The constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband has nodded at your exciting remarks. 100 coins have been sponsored. The constellation Demon-like Judge of Fire nods are your cois. 100 coins have been sponsored. The constellation Secretive Plotter is disappointed in your rash remarks. There were quite a few messages. In addition, a few exposed constellations sponsored me. Maybe it was due to the final conversation between Yu Jonghyuk and I. I felt a little down as I read through the messages of the constellations one by one and collected the coins. If I had picked one of these constellations in the first sponsor selection, this might not have happened. But there was no regret in my choice. After encountering Yu Jonghyuk directly, I was certain. The great sage, the equal of heaven, might be a sponsor of the highest quality, but he wasn't enough. I needed more than just sponsorship if I wanted to confront Yu Jonghyuk. And I would gain it from here. The walls of the stomach growled and small waves rose inside. The Sikh commander seemed to be moving somewhere. I turned on my smartphone and calculated the time. According to Ways of Survival, the ichthyosaur started to secrete stomach acid around 3 hours after ingesting food. In other words, I didn't have much time left. Haha, it is sad that things turned out like this. It was very interesting. There was a sound effect before the Dakibi's voice was heard. Dakibi? Yes, that's right. You don't seem panicked at all? I knew you would come. HRMM. It sounds like you were waiting for me? Of course I have been waiting. Light turned on and the Dakibi appeared. I couldn't tell for sure from his expression alone, but this guy was clearly interested. I deliberately spoke calmly. If I was pushed here, I wouldn't be able to eat my meal. Are you doing to take coins from me? Coins? You have to take coins in exchange for me failing the scenario. Not your life? If it was my life, you would have written death in the failure results column, not 3 question marks. Doesn't this mean there is room to negotiation? Ha ha ha. How interesting. In fact, there was a loophole in my words. The scenario message was failure. This literally meant that the penalty of failure was unknown. It was just my assumption that it was in exchange for coins. Nevertheless, there was a reason why I was so certain. Am I wrong? It was because I already knew about this scenario. The Dakibi hesitated for a moment before nodding. You are right. Amazing. That you could determine this point with such a clue, as expected from someone who is attraction the constellation's attention. The Dakibi's tone was filled with sincere admiration. As you said, you can survive this sub-scenario if you pay coins, even if you fail. How much? Pay 5,100 coins. Then I will let you live. I looked at how many coins I currently possessed. Coins possessed, 5,100 C. I couldn't help smiling. This jerk was messing around right now. That is too much. Haha, then won't you die? It is up to me to accept the coins or not. If you do something wrong, then I can just end it here. Then kill me. Huh? Kill me. You can't kill me? The Dakibi didn't move. It was natural. He was having a lot of fun with me right now. Furthermore, he wouldn't have come down here to see me if he had been planning to kill me. For this guy, I had to survive here, or I at least had to die miserably. Haha. You are really making me angry. Look, now. The Dakibi's flat-shaped eyebrows wriggled furiously. It was time to stop the taunts and get to the main point. Low-grade Dakibi, Baihyung. How are the activities of a streamer? If there was a crack in the face, it would look exactly like this. Dakibi Baihyung showed confusion for the first time. How do you know my name? You haven't been enjoying broadcasting lately, right? The constellations are too stingy. Who the hell are you? How does a human? Baihyung's horns shook. It was natural. An ordinary human couldn't know about the Starstream system. But I wasn't an ordinary human. A few constellations have doubts about your existence. The constellation's secretive plotter's eyes are shining at your plan. From now on, it wasn't a story for the constellations. I mouthed to Baihyung, how about we talk after you close the channel? Baihyung was worried and closed the channel. #BI7623 channel is closed. Once the constellations left the channel, Baihyung showed his true colors. Feel free to speak. How can an ordinary human know about the Starstream broadcasting? That isn't important. Huh? Baihyung, do you want to be king of the Dakibis? What now? Don't you wish to be the best streamer in the network, surpassing Dokgak and Gildao? Baihyung's complexion was changing. Dakibi Baihyung, sign a contract with me. Then I will make you the king of the Dakibis. Chapter 12. Contract. Part 2. Starstream System. The Starstream broadcasting was designed to relay its contents to the entire universe. The subscribers were constellations at the top of the distant galaxies. The actors were humans like me. And the storyteller that connected the two sides was the Dakibi in front of me. Ha 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 ha. You are crazy. A crazy human. I should have known it when you refused to sponsoring of the other constellations. Baihyung laughed for a long time before opening his mouth again. I don't know how you know about Starstream broadcasting, but I can't accept the offer. I'm a Dakibi, not a constellation. I can't be your sponsor. You seem to have misunderstood. I never told you to sponsor me. Huh? I am well aware that you are a weak Dakibi. I don't need your strength. I need your channel. My channel? Since you can't seem to understand me, is there a problem with your Korean language patch? No, what is this? I will explain it simply. I want to sign an exclusive contract with your channel. Baehyung made a blank expression before belatedly regained his spirit. Wait a minute. Do you want to make a stream contract with me now? Yes. A stream contract was originally a contract between Dakibi and constellations. The constellation's incarnation would appear on a particular channel and the Dakibi would receive a portion of the coins earned by the incarnation of the constellation as a commission. Originally, the person who was the incarnation couldn't intervene in this contract. It was called sponsorship, but the contracted incarnation was nothing but a slave. Haha, this is a hit. Baehyung laughed behind small fingers. The surrounding atmosphere was changing. I don't know how you know about such things, but some human dares to mention the stream contract? It is also a trivial buy with no sponsor? The tone changed and the surrounding air was filled with killing intent. Indeed, even a low-level Dakibi was strong compared to humans. But it wasn't enough to make me back off. It is worth signing a contract because I have no sponsor. What? What do you think the purpose of a constellation is to enter a channel? Baehyung looked like a bad student at the sudden question. From now on, it was a special lecture time for the low-level Dakibi. You don't have to be so nervous. You already know this information. But let's review it again to see what it means. Baehyung was caught in my pace and nodded despite himself. The Starstream subscribers can be largely divided into two groups. One group are the fun seekers who seek to relieve their boredom with the channel. The other group are the incarnation searchers who want to find an incarnation to contract with them. Isn't that right? Yes. That's right. For this reason, you must be able to satisfy one of the two groups in order to become a famous channel in Starstream. In other words, either stick to the fun seekers or the incarnation seekers. You have to attract one of them properly. You are moderately well informed. But so what? What does this contract have to do with why constellations subscribe? I don't know how many more hints I have to give you. This is why your subscribers' number still isn't over 3 digits. Shut up. Say it quickly. Seeing Baehyung thrust his small horns at me cutely, it was hard to believe the Dakibi had blown up people's head a while ago. Now let's stop making fun of him and take a chance. What if there is a channel that can satisfy both the fun seekers and the incarnation searchers? What are you saying? Such a thing is impossible. Even if it is possible, it is only for a while. Baehyung's words were correct. The reason why it was impossible to satisfy all the constellations was due to the characteristics of the incarnation searchers group. The purpose of these constellations was to discover an incarnation. They changed channels as soon as the sponsor selection was over. Due to this, the incarnation searchers group were just temporary customers. But that is a story for when the sponsor selection proceeds normally. What? What if there is an incarnation who doesn't sign a contract with any constellation? And what if that incarnation shows an ability that transcends all over incarnations with sponsors? The existence of a strong incarnation would attract the eyes of the constellations. If this incarnation continued to not select a sponsor, the incarnation searchers group would continue to subscribe without leaving the channel. Wait a minute. Is this why you didn't select a sponsor? Yes, that's right. Huh, this is interesting. Baehyung grinned at me. Becoming the strongest incarnation without a sponsor, if there is such a thing, it certainly wouldn't be a dream to become the best Starstream channel. But such an incarnation can't exist. Do you really think so? I admit that you aren't normal. You have attracted the attention of constellations from the beginning, and thanks to it, I have also been having fun. However, there is a limit to your delusions. Haven't you noticed it after going through that? An ordinary human can never beat an incarnation. That is the law of the world. I don't know that. You have already missed the opportunity. Look around you. This isn't a main scenario. You failed a sub-scenario, and now your life is at risk. There are no constellations watching you. Really? By now, the constellations must be in an uproar. Aren't they? Isn't everybody clamoring for the channel to quickly be opened? Bai Hyung was silent. Aren't they all going crazy with curiosity right now? Who is that crazy person who went against the regressor? Is he really a prophet? Can he really see the future? If he can see the future, what did he get eaten by the ichthyosaur? Stop. You are. From now on, I'm going to show it. So shut up and do what I tell you. Do you want to become the king of Dakibis? Bai Hyung's gaze towards me was changing. I could hear the sound of him gulping. Bai Hyung was worrying. In any case, there was nothing to lose if he believed me here. Then? Bai Hyung's pupils moved quickly. Then let's settle the scenario failure first. Give me 5,100 coins, what are you saying? I didn't fail. Eh? Maybe by now I would have met the conditions. I loosened my body and got up from my seat. My cold body was stiff. Bai Hyung still had a stupid expression on his face. Open the channel. It will start soon. Start, what will? Then a message was heard in the air. The hidden scenario has arrived. Plus. Hidden scenario, Commander Slayer, category, hidden. Difficulty, A+. Clear conditions, kill the ichthyosaur, sea commander and escape from its stomach. Time limit, 10 days. Compensation, 9,000 coins failure, death. Plus. Look, didn't I tell you to be prepared? There were 3 types of scenarios and ways of survival. The main scenario was in charge of progressing the main story. The sub-scenarios were responsible for minor events. And the hidden scenarios were only open through special conditions. How on earth? Bai Hyung's lips were shaking with shock. Unlike the main scenarios and sub-scenarios that a Dakibi was in charge of, the hidden scenarios were characterized by their automatic appearance when certain conditions were met. You didn't even know. You low-grade Dakibi. You, what on earth? Anyway, if I can clear this, I will prove that I have the ability for the contract, right? Bai Hyung watched the scenario screen with gloomy eyes. He looked at me with a careful gaze and asked. This scenario, the difficulty is A+. Do you really believe you can clear it? Yes. There was a small wave as the Han River water crashed against the wall of the ichthyosaur's stomach. Bai Hyung was silent for a moment before opening his mouth. Okay. If you succeed in clearing this scenario, then I will accept the contract. The terms of the contract will be negotiated after the scenario is cleared. So arrogant, then I will open the channel again. Please try hard. Wait a minute. It would be difficult if he left already. I had something to check. You have something left to do. What is it now? Bai Hyung's mocking tone was somewhat annoying. Fix a system error for me. System error? My attributes window isn't opening. No way. The system can't have an error. The scenario system is perfect. Take a look yourself. Bai Hyung looked at me with suspicious eyes and started to mutter something. The Dakibi Bai Hyung has used system interference on you. System interference. It was an absolute interference skill that could only be used by Dakibis with the right to interfere in the scenario. In fact, it was unclear if the reason why I couldn't see the attributes window was an error or not. But at least the Dakibi would be able to find out something. And if he couldn't figure it out, that was also a profit for me. The exclusive skill, Fourth Wall, is activated. In the next moment, sparks flew in the air and struck Baihyung.